You're listening to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Personalities podcast. I'm your host, Naomi Hammond, and my co-host, Florence Davis. Our goal is to bring you hope and help guide you through this thing called life by sharing our own experiences, life lessons, and goals. We're not licensed therapists, just two women on a journey set out to be, do, and have whatever we want. So sit back, grab a glass, pour your favorite wine, and enjoy the show. So, Flo, today we're just gonna have just talk about anything really. No particular topic. Maybe what's something that you want to talk about. What's something that's on your mind that we can talk about and laugh about and just share with everybody.
Well, okay, just throw the ball in my court then. Maybe I need a whole bottle of wine then. So, we can talk about present, past, or current relationships, or just something as a woman that, has changed in our lives that makes us a better version of ourselves. So the topics are broad. They can be broad. So your choice, your pick.
Okay, so let's talk about past relationships. Let's talk about something that we've encountered or we've endured that we refuse to deal with ever again.
Okay. Well, as far as past relationships, I think with everyone, it's the cheating. Oh my God, it's the cheating, the lies, just dishonesty, no transparency. And I think we as women have settled for that. So men have gotten to the habit of say, well, she's going to take me back or she's going to keep me. I don't have to be honest with her. I can just tell her enough to keep her or tell her whatever makes her happy. But now, as we evolve into stronger women, we don't take that anymore. It's transparency or nothing. You got to be honest from the gate because I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay. I say for me, it would be verbal, physical, and mental abuse. That's something that I will not tolerate at any level. So because I know what it looks like from a distance, there is no way that I would, deal with it now that I have evolved. That's like a biggie for me. If I know that that's the type of person that you are, or that's the person that you're coming off as, the type of person that you're coming off as, I'm not interested at all. Like no interest whatsoever.
And the thing with that though, even with cheating, you will not know until you're invested. And that's the sad part. None of that comes out until they know you're invested. And that investment means you're loved. You're in love with them. And it's hard to break off from that, even though we say we won't take or tolerate. Unfortunately, we will run into that again, but we will know how to deal with it. Because again, as I stated, you will not know until you're invested in something, whether it's abuse, cheating, you won't find it out in the beginning. It's a process.
What about finances? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, in the past, we probably deal with guys that, weren't really making all that kind of money or just, didn't really have, I guess, a sense of urgency that it was important, or maybe they were just so comfortable because of the strong woman that we are, or that we were back then. It's a lot that we would tolerate. We would put up with the fact that, okay, well, he not really making that much money right now, but it's gonna change, and we steady just, put ourselves out there, and we're gonna work hard, and we're gonna make ends meet, and we're gonna do whatever we feel we need to do to make or to do what we think is making the relationship work financially. How you feel about that? What you think?
See, that's a big issue with me because if you're into me, whatever concerns me concerns you. If my bills concern me, they should concern you. I don't care how long we've been together. If we decide to be together, you're there for me, I'm there for you. Whatever bills need to be paid, whether you're living with me or not, you should be willing to contribute or help just as well as I should do the same. It should always be 50-50. As Teddy P said, it feels good loving somebody when somebody loves you back. It's not 70-30 or 60-40, it's 50-50. So No matter what it is, we split it up the middle. I know they say the man is the head, and that's true, and the woman is the helpmeet. But when we're together, we help each other. There's no lead and there's no I'll let you lead as a man, but we're together. We walk side by side. So financially, that should be important. Once we get invested, you should not have to wait on me to ask. There's no such thing as me being a strong woman. Even though I'm strong, you are still a man, which means you should be wanting to and willing to help me and ask me, not me ask you, well, do you need this, babe? Or not even just say, here, babe, here's something for the bills. Here's something for your pocket, something for your hair. Here go a couple of dollars for gas. Why? Because I'm invested in you like you're invested in me. I care about your well-being as you care about mine. I want you to succeed as well as me. I don't want you to worry or struggle or be concerned because that concerns me. I have your back and you have mine.
All right, so let's kind of move past the, how we would or what we wouldn't tolerate now into, like, let's say, being married, right? And do you feel that it's the same when you're married, 50-50? Because I don't
Being
think it's
it should be. And honestly, it should be.
Why? Why you say that?
Because it's just a relationship. The only thing that changes is your last name in the paper that attaches you to. It's still a relationship that's growing. We're getting to know each other. We're growing together. We're learning the pros and cons of each other, the good and the bad, the ugly. Marriage is just like a relationship. It's a learning process. So yes, you're more. Just a marriage takes it to another step. You're invested in me for life. That's the difference.
Okay, but I think the difference comes into play when you're married with kids and you're married without kids. Because to me, I saw this video, Steve Harvey talking with some other guys, and Steve Harvey made a great point. He said that marriage, it isn't 50-50. It's 85-15. This is what Steve Harvey said, 85-15. He said, because, and 85 for the woman, 15 for the man. He said, because the woman is putting out way more than what that man is putting out. She tended to the kids. She's making sure he's straight. She's making sure that she's straight. And I mean, let's just be realistic. The cost of a woman is way more as far as getting herself together, beauty, clothes, just putting herself together as a woman is more than it costs more for the woman than it does for the man. Wouldn't you agree?
Okay, but taking away actual cost, and we're looking at investing, it's still 50-50. No matter whether the woman's doing more because she's having those babies or whatever, the man takes on more responsibility to pay the bills. The woman takes care of the kids. Isn't that 50-50? Isn't that me in the middle? I'll take care of this, you take care of that. So actually, it's still the same thing. Steve just broke it down differently. Because the woman, she bears the children, she takes care of the children. Well, the man is out there making the money, he's the breadwinner, he's paying the bills. So me taking care of the kids and you paying the bills, we're in the middle. We meeting in the middle. You're not 85-15. No, because I'm not going further than you. I'm just taking care of one thing, and you stepped up and took the responsibility of being the head of the household to lead as far as the financial ways.
So you're saying
that still in the middle.
So you're saying that a man puts in the same amount of time and invest.
What I said was their financial equals out to what the time she has to put in with the kids and the family and keeping the family together. So It's still 50-50. You can separate it by money, actions, or whatever, or time. But at the end of the day, a marriage is 50-50 because you both work together. You're not, if you're putting in 90% and I'm only giving 5%, something ain't right.
Okay, I understand it. And that
so the meeting point is, you see me doing all this with the kids, and you see me doing all this. So you are determined to be the man and say, hey, I'm going to take care of my family because my wife over here doing all this.
Okay, so you're speaking mainly.
Meet her in the middle, and I'm going to make sure she ain't got to be concerned about this. And because she makes sure I ain't got to be concerned about that. So we still in the middle. And just like when you're in a relationship, and if you're invested in it, and y'all have kids, it's the same thing. Oh, my old lady over here, she holding it down. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, cause this is my old lady. We ain't married, but I see she got my back. She got my back, so I'm gonna have hers. So what we do, the real ones do, is we come together and we meet in the middle. Marriage is just a piece of paper, and a lot of people, you must understand that The only thing changes is the name, but the responsibility, if we already got kids together prior to marriage and we're already in a relationship prior to marriage and we're already doing all of this, the paper just finalizes it. That's it.
Okay. So now, this is something else that I hear, men talk about, or I've heard men say before, that once they get married, the sex stops. I don't even understand that. Like, why do you think the sex stops? And I've heard some women say, "Oh, I don't feel sexy enough at times," or, maybe I'm just not in the mood. I get that, not in the mood, because sometimes we be tired and things like that. But what do you think is the main reason that the sex stops?
Well, I think the main reason is it was never all that. It was never all that before they got married. Because, honey, being a woman with another name or whatever you want to say, the same way the sex was prior to marriage, it was the same way the sex was when we got married. We were tired at times when we weren't married, so we didn't do the do. We were tired at times when we were married, we didn't do the do. But we made up for the do. So I don't think marriage has nothing to do with it, because just like you say, the kids, those kids are there before y'all married. So nothing should change once we sign this paper. Maybe it's a mentality thing, I'm not sure. But from experience, the sex never changed.
I don't agree with the whole thing too. I mean, I get that sometimes, you may not want to have sex, but as far as, because the way that it comes off is like, oh, well, we just don't have sex anymore. But wait a minute now, because that right there is, if there's no sex, then there's a problem. There is
absolutely. Y'all need to go seek some help, because that
there is a huge disconnect if there is no sex involved.
To me, that frequency should stay the same, because nothing has changed about y'all lives except for y'all got married. Y'all still got the kids, the dog, the house. The same thing y'all had before y'all got married. Maybe y'all got a little more. Yeah, y'all got a house now. Y'all ain't no more apartment, but y'all still got the same life. So why should the sex dwindle if nothing has changed? The babies were already there. Responsibilities were already there. You were already keeping the kids. He was already paying the bills. Y'all already meeting in the middle. So there had to be some disconnect somewhere to make that sex.
Yeah, because I mean, you look the same after we got married. I look the same after we got married. I don't know. I mean, I'm still attracted to you.
You saw me after I had those kids. You know my body changed after them kids. So you chose to stay with me. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't bad. Because as you know, who said something? And it was actually on this new Madea movie that just came out. She said, when you marry somebody, that's why people renew their vows, because the same person you married,
yes,
is not the same person.
Yes,
people change after so many years, so you renew your vows. That's just like when in a relationship. Once you go from that relationship to getting married, that's a new person. You're still the same, but it's a new step in life.
Yes.
So y'all there now. And then when y'all get further in that step, after 10 years, baby, let's 20 years, we're gonna renew our vows, because we're gonna refresh our love. We still love each other, but we different now. We older now.
It's the growth. Yes. And you know what?
Over again.
Yes, and I agree. If there's no growth, like I don't understand. Like there has to be some level of growth. Just being a person, period. Like if you're not growing, then you're not evolving. You're not becoming the best you.
And I would say the difference with marriage is, but you can still do it. It's like I said, it's a contract, which you don't have when you're dating. So you can just walk away anytime. There's no strings or whatever attachments. But when you're married, there are those attachments. And the key to any marriage being successful, is to keep it spontaneous. Do new things. Don't be, in the bedroom, you get tired of laying on your back or bunking over. Do something different. You have to keep it exciting. Even in a relationship, you get bored. I'm tired of doing this. Can we do something else? You have to try new things. Just because y'all did in a relationship and y'all moving to marriage, still the same thing, but let's level up.
But couldn't that be a reason as to why maybe the sex, the frequency of the sex changes?
Willingness to try new things, yeah. Consistency is key, but when it comes to sex, you can't be consistent. You can be consistent in having it, but you can't be consistent in the way you're having it.
Yes, I totally agree.
You gotta spice it up, because on a day that you're tired, you come home from work, you done worked all day, all you want to do is take a good shower, lay in the bed. I'm gonna rub your back. I'm gonna put you in the mood. I'm gonna have some candles lit, because baby, I want some. So I'm gonna change it up. I'm not gonna keep it the same. I know you're tired. I'm going to acknowledge you're tired, because I'm tired too from watching the kids. But we both have to have our time where the kids ain't involved, neither is the work. So maybe let's take a weekend. Get somebody to watch the kids. Take a weekend off. Let's get together. We have to always keep that fire burning.
I agree with you on that. I agree, but so many
The
times,
sex will never go away. It won't go away. And now the only time I would say sex starts to dwindle, that it's hard to get back, is when they cheat or they become abusive, when the change starts. And then you may not feel pretty. Your heart's not the same anymore because you've been hurt. So in order to keep that marriage, you got to get back to where you started then. You got to start all over.
Yeah, because if you cheated, I'm definitely feeling like, okay,
there was something else you were looking for.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not the one that you're interested in anymore, because now you stepped out of this thing that we had and pursued something else. So like, why should I give my body to you? Like, why should I want you at that level? Like, yeah, no, that's a no for me. That's very uncomfortable, because now you put me in a place to where now I'm thinking about, finding me.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. 9 times out of 10, he loses interest because I've become aggravated and I begin to nag. So he doesn't want to hear that. So he's gonna look for somebody who don't nag and they just cater. And then she starts to notice, oh, well, he ain't paying attention to me no more. So something's not right. Well, okay. Then somebody starts paying attention. So, okay, so I'm getting the attention here. He's not getting the arguing there. So therefore, instead of y'all coming together and communicating about it, you pull apart. And then you pull apart so far till there's no coming back.
Yeah, but a big problem is communicating, because a lot of people, they don't know how to communicate.
That's an issue with a lot of us. That's why me, at the age I am now, even prior to this age, transparency is key. If you tell me the truth and let me to make my own choices, don't make them for me, we might be cool. But if you take away my choice and my ability to make my own decisions, then we have a problem. Because from the beginning to the end, I'm going to be transparent. Hey, I'm interested. Hey, I'm not. Hey, I just want a book. I want to get in the book. Hey, I don't want to get in the book.
Right.
You have to be transparent, because there are some people you don't want to be with long term. You just want to try them out. It's like a test run. But you have to be honest. You can't play with people's emotions. If you're not looking for anything and this person say, well, hey, I want this, I want this, and all you want is that, don't do it. Be honest.
All right, so moving out of the whole marriage thing, let's say now, we divorced now, and now we single again, right? Mm-hmm. So when do you know that you're ready to do this thing again? Like, you're ready to date again. You want to, you single and you ready to mingle. Like how do you know when that time is here? Like, how do you even market yourself?
Well,
all over again.
All transparency. When you know you're headed for divorce and things are not getting back together, that time starts then. Your healing process starts. So honestly, you just start to get yourself together then. When you know it's just over, I'm not going back. None of that. That's the time where you start to work on you, because we've already started the paperwork. This is over. So you got to start getting yourself together. So when you reach, and then you start putting, and unconsciously, you're putting yourself out there because you're starting to look different. You're carrying yourself different. You're dressing different. You're trying to be noticed. So you are already putting yourself out there to be noticed. It's just like you saying, oh, I ain't ready. I'm not ready. But you are, because you are already advertising yourself with the change, because people can know, oh, girl, you look so different. They notice the change. So if your friends can notice it, don't you know that other people can notice it as well?
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you're trying to give off. People see, we make changes within ourselves and it starts to show on the outside, but it doesn't
necessarily where it begins. It starts with self.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's the route that I'm taking. It could be that I'm coming up out of who I once was.
And that's why I said that's where it starts. That's the start of you preparing yourself for another level. Whether consciously or unconsciously, you are doing it. When you start to do better for yourself and start to acknowledge you more and love you more, you're preparing yourself for another level. Now, as to when you'll be ready to jump out there, you'll know. But the very first time, all transparency, somebody walk by that catches your attention and that thing thump, you know you're ready to do something. You know what I'm saying? Your body will know. Your reaction, that femininity will say, "Ooh, It's going to jump. Because then you say, oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get out there. Your body will know you. Maybe your mind have to catch up, but your body will know when you're ready to move on. And your heart, too, because even after being hurt or going through a divorce or whatever it may be that women go through, you know when you're ready to be acknowledged again. Your heart knows, because you'll start desiring those things again. You'll start wanting them. The desire, when you hurt, it does dwindle away. But once you get it all back together and get yourself to a point where you'll be, your heart will start saying, okay, now I want something. Your heart will feel it. I don't want to be alone. I want somebody. I want to be loved again. Your heart will start to tell you that. Your emotions will start to come back up.
I agree, because I think I'm at that point now too, where I'm ready to look, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle, but then again, I still take a step back and, I have to think about the fact that, am I really ready? Because with everything that's going on now and I'm not even thinking about how people talk about, loyalty, this and loyalty, because you can't be loyal to me. I don't even know you like that. So that right there is not even something that I'm, looking for in the very beginning. But at the same time, it's like, I don't even know where to start with that.
And sometimes that is fear of starting or just second guessing yourself as a woman. And it happens that way sometimes, where it's like, I've been out of this so long. It's the fear of restarting. It's the fear of restarting. But just like, to me, I look at it as just like a new job with more money. You want that money, so you're going to perform. So to me, that's just what it is. It may not be financial, but you don't know what it is. But you're going in blindsided. You're going in without knowing anything about how it can be, what it's going to be. All you have is the knowledge and the skills that you possess. You don't know what you're going to actually, you know what they say when you're interviewed, but you won't know until you actually get in that spot what you're actually doing. Because interviews are just shells. You don't crack the egg until they hire you and give you the job. Then you get into the yolk of it. And that's just it. So how you won't know until you get past the shell.
I guess a lot of it does have to do with being afraid, because it's like you're afraid of, rejection.
Yes.
You're afraid of,
everything that you went through prior to you moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. Like I could possibly run into it again. And then it's all about the people that we attract. Oh my gosh. Like I just can't. That's major. Cause
well, now that thing, if it's somebody you just refuse to deal with, that's a known and a given. If it's somebody that's going to waste your time, but you also know if you want to play around with that person too. We know those things. We're women, so we definitely know how to pick them out and know what we want. And we know what we don't want.
That is very much so true, because a woman does know who she's going to give the cookie to. A woman knows who she's going to give the cookie to.
Of course.
That's at first glance, we know who we're going to give it to.
Absolutely.
And a man can mess that up, because, you might have the look, that I like, but something might come out your mouth wrong. And it's like, oh.
Really? Ergo, you keep moving, because if he's giving it to you, you just got to pay attention to the signs. Because if it's coming out your mouth at this early of a stage, then that's what it is.
Right.
And we as women, we tend to turn a blind eye to the signs because of something we want. But you got to be smart in these days. Don't go by want. Because if you see that sign, red flag, I'm going the other way. Because I don't have the time to invest in you that I've already wasted. I'm trying to move forward, not backwards. So just I would say, pay attention to signs, because they're always there. They're always there. And as we know, men, they're going to always start out with the good mornings. Hey, how you doing? That's how it starts. So you're going to always get that icing on that cake first.
Yeah, but what do you say? You say conversation leads to stimulation?
That's right.
And that stimulation can have you jack the hell up.
It does. But in that conversation, again, pay attention. Don't just be so flirty. Oh, no. Pay attention. Listen. A key to a conversation, in order to have a proper conversation, you got to be able to listen.
I can't even say that comes with age, because you have younger women that can be up on their game, and older women that are like what you just described, that, just looking past all of the stuff, all of the signs that are right there, like flashing red lights, and don't even pay it any attention. But I think for me,
comes with a desire. It's a desire. It's not age. It's the desire. What do you desire? If you just desire to be with a man because I can't be by myself, then the red flags are going to be green because you just desire to be wanted.
That is a
So
big
it's not about age, it's about your desire and what you want. It has nothing to do with any red flags. It's about what you want and what you're willing to settle for to get what you want. And if you have the time, because most women feel like I don't have the time, I'm getting older. That's
the internal clock. That's the internal clock. That's the internal clock that we have.
I don't care how old I am. I'm not going to jump back in the lake and I can't swim. I'd rather wait. And if that means being by myself, then so be it. It's just, you have to be willing to live with that. That's the sacrifice. You're not willing to, you don't want to be hurt again. So it's like, I refuse to go through anything that I've been through before. I know the signs, I know what to look for, and I'm not afraid of being alone. And that's where most women, their fear of being alone, fear of, and honestly, and my thing is, when I came out of my mama, I was by myself. And that up in there. I ain't got no twin. I was born by myself. Now, when I entered the world, she was right there, and so was everybody else. But coming through that canal, I was by myself. So living by myself, I know how to live. I know how to, you have to learn how to be alone within yourself. Once you can get comfortable with that, you can do with or without a man.
Yeah, but that could be really hard, especially after you've been in a long-term relationship with someone. Because now you are so used to, now you're so used to being with someone, having someone else there, to just being by yourself. That is a huge turn.
Because that's a mental thing as well. Because that's a mental, like, I've gotten in my head like, oh, I've been with this man so long. I don't know how to live by myself. I can't be by myself. I don't want to roll over in the bed by myself. A lot of women do that. And it's like, whatever. Because you could be married to somebody, stand in the same house, and you still by yourself. See, that's what gets me. You could be in a relationship with somebody and still by yourself because that person is not connected to you. They're not with you. So if you can do it while they're there, which is putting yourself through purgatory, I would say. I mean, you can do it while they're not there because you're there by yourself the whole time anyway. So you know how to do it. It's just the wanting. Oh, do I want to do this? It falls back to it falls back to self and the desire because it's everything you want. So if I want to be with somebody because I'm just fearful of being by myself, I'm going to take whatever you give to me.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
I is all I. It's not the other person. And then in that scenario, women get so angry with men, but why are you angry with those men when you didn't want to be by yourself?
You decided to do that
for you.
Yes.
You knew what was going on in this man's life. You opted to agree to sign an agreement. Basically, I'm going to be with you no matter what, because I don't want to be by myself. Oh, you do this for me, you do that for me, because I'm not alone. But I am alone because I don't have you. Yeah. Women often do that. They'll leave what they have, and that's a horrible situation, and then settle for something else. That's an even worse situation. It may be different, but at this point, it's no longer mental. Now it's dealing with your heart. It's like, I'm free, but I'm not free. It's taking your free. It's the very freedom you gain, you give it back.
Give it back. Yeah. Yeah. That's because we go through that, it look good, it smell good, it sound good, but it don't taste good. And all of the signs are right there. But because we want, it's all about that I, we overlook, and we're willing to overlook it. And the signs will keep being right there, and we'll still keep trying to keep moving forward when he's showing you he ain't really all into you the way that you think he is. Because I know for a fact that if a man, if he all about you, he gonna show you that he all about you.
Absolutely. But there's a catch with that too, because he could be all about you and still have other stuff going on. And definitely. As you mentioned, that goes back to you a few minutes ago when you mentioned loyalty. Women fall into that loyalty subject. Yeah. And you're loyal to everybody except yourself.
Yeah.
But the key is you must be loyal to you before you can be loyal to anybody else. Because once you're loyal to you, you will second guess. What I'm gonna be loyal to you for when you're not loyal to me?
Yeah.
Especially you have other things going on that I am aware of and everybody else aware of. But I'm loyal to you. I refuse to take on any of the challenges because I'm so loyal to you. But you're not loyal to me. And you're saying the things I want to hear. And I know you have good intentions, but you won't act on them because you want to keep you like your cake and you like to eat other flavors as well. And then you
Right.
have a specific flavor that's only yours, and you don't have to share it with anybody. Men are possessive.
Controlling.
Territorial. They're territorial men. And
Very.
you belong to them and you say, I'm gonna be yours, that's what they want. You can't let nobody else take a scoop out of that barrel. You have to be loyal to them. But I go back to say, how can you even expect me to be loyal when you're not loyal? So I have to be loyal to me first. It falls back to us loving ourselves first before we love anybody else. We got to first learn how to love ourselves. Before you're loyal to somebody else, you got to learn how to be loyal to yourself. Because your heart matters, your thoughts matter, your feelings matter, all of it. And if you have someone that pushes your feelings aside in certain situations because they don't want to deal with them, that's a red flag.
Yeah, and as women, we tend to forfeit that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we will forfeit that. We will push our feelings and all of that to the side because we are so wrapped up into this person, and
Absolutely.
we want to do the things that we think he want us to do. And a
Absolutely.
lot of times that ain't even what it is.
And I think we do that because after all the pain, this person comes in and they show you a different light and a different shade per se.
A knight in
And
shining
like,
armor.
dog, I was over in this red light. Now I'm in this green light, and it's just so good. It goes like that grass is green on the other side.
Right.
It applies to everything. And trust me, it may be green for a little while, but it's gonna wilt a little bit too.
And be full of weeds.
And if it's not yours, you're pretty much watering someone else's grass, and you're taking care of it, and you're keeping it healthy, and you're growing it.
Mm-hmm.
While your grass is wilting over there because you're not getting the same nurturing.
Yeah, that's true. It's just, I guess that's just the way that it is. A lot of the times, we as women, because we are the nurturing type, it comes to us so naturally. So I mean,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's one of the things that a lot of men, and I'm talking
They
about
all
men.
men.
I ain't talking about no boys. I'm talking about men. That's what they desire. That's something that's it's innate for us, and it's something that we automatically give. It's a package deal. That's what you're gonna get. Now, granted, you got some women out there that just don't really give two. You know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, we can pretend. Those women can definitely pretend.
But is it healthy? I mean, if you're pretending, are you really happy? Now that's a good question.
That is a great question. I don't know. I think it's all about it's all in the person. It's all in the person.
It doesn't matter the person. It still boils down to no matter how good of if you're the great pretender, are you happy? When you pretend, that's something that's not real. So I don't care who you are. If you're pretending, you ain't really happy. Because if you got to pretend, if you have to pretend, there's something you're missing if you're pretending anyway.
That's true, but so many women they wear different masks. They put on different faces.
Right? Because and that's why I say in a relationship, no matter what, if you're in it, you're in it. Whether it's long term, short term, or just hey, hi and bye. I think transparency is key because of those great pretenders and those people that know your weakness and they prey on it, and just those different kind of people that they say they love you but they don't. They love the thought of you, they love what you possess, they love who you are,
they love what you can do for them,
and they love the fact that you're loyal to them and they can vent and trust you and trust that you won't share their whatever's going on with anyone else because you love them.
Right.
Those are people that take advantage of you too. Because if you really love me, you will be dedicated and loyal to me as well. You will reciprocate whatever I'm giving out. There's no Like I said, no 70-30, no 60-40. Either you want me or you don't. You can't pick and choose what parts of me you want. Either want all of me or want none of me. And we as women, we need to get that mentality. Either it's all or nothing. And if you don't want all, and I'm not saying we need to fall over in a love relationship, but accept me for everything. Don't just take parts from me and then cast the rest of it aside because it doesn't fit your lifestyle. Don't do that. And women shouldn't do it either.
You're making a lot of sense. I will say that. You're making a lot of sense.
I mean, it's just, like I said, in life we learn, in marriage we learn, out of marriage we learn. It's always a learning experience there. And the key is to do better when you know you're not right, or you're not, just to do better, make more wise and conscious decisions, pay attention to the signs. Don't settle, which is easy to say, but it's hard for some to actually, do. But just try. It does. As long as you try and don't give up, it's at least you're making an effort.
Okay, so you know how self-care, self-love is real big right now. Everybody talking about self-love, and I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're working on yourself from within, and of course it's gonna show on the outside automatically. But do you believe that a person that has transition and or that self-development has taken place in their life and they've healed and all that other stuff from past situations and relationships, and now they've come out and now they're ready to meet or be with somebody and they find that person? Do you believe that those people can still fall in a relationship?
Of course, we're humans. We're not perfect. Anything is possible. The key is the willingness to try again. Love is unpredictable. Love can be kind. Love should never hurt. So if love is hurting, then you're not in the right place. Not to be holier than thou, but God is love. God don't hurt you, so love shouldn't hurt you. That's always been my take on love. Love me like you love the sunshine. Love me like you love the air. Love me like you can walk by a nice flower and say, "Oh, this is a beautiful flower." Love me like that. So, anything can fall, anything can fail. But if it's worth the fight, you fight. If it's not, having the courage to walk away is powerful.
That's the freaking hardest part right there.
Yeah,
to walk away even when you know that the sex is good, the sex is great, but that the situation just isn't right. It isn't right. It's hard to walk away because we still feel like I could just deal with it just for a little bit longer, like maybe like another, however long. I could probably just ride it out.
I think
but in actuality, we're just steady tearing ourselves up on the inside.
Right, because the key is, again, like I said, those bits and pieces. Stop settling for the bits and the pieces. If I can't get the whole thing, I don't want a piece here. I don't want you go to McDonald's, you say, order a large fry, and they give you one fry. What you gonna say?
Y'all,
Right. So why get a man and he can say, I can only give you the meat, or I can only give you a day because my other 4 days or 5 or 6 days somewhere else. Oh, okay, we can accept that, but we can't take one fry. So give that energy, the same energy that you would give McDonald's, to that person. Stop settling for bits and pieces. And stop being so hard. Women need to stop being so desperate to be with somebody. For real. Take your time. There's no rush. Yes, live for the day, but take your time. Especially if you're looking for something that's serious. Take your time, don't rush.
But see, that comes with age, though, too. That comes with age because it does. Wait, hold up. The reason why I'm saying that is because, listen, we have that internal clock. And we know after some point, at some point, look, the clock gonna stop ticking.
That's not necessarily, listen, when it comes to age in a relationship, that's different, totally different. I don't agree because you see 50 and 60-year-old people getting married now. Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't the age. It's not the internal clock. So that is bullcrap. I mean, we're all men here. We're only here for a certain amount of time. But what we should do is enjoy the time we have with them and run with it, because nobody is promised to the next day. So as far as that internal clock, people do that often. That's a limitation. You're supposed to live. And if you're talking about a clock, that means you're watching time. There's no way you can live life and watch the clock. How is that possible?
Okay, but I think more of what I'm saying in regards to that internal clock is like, having kids, you know what I mean? Because hell, when you get 60, that ain't what we doing. You get 50.
But that's what's happening as well.
Yeah, but how many women are really having kids at the age of 60?
Look it up. You have older women having babies now, which is crazy because not those babies gonna raise those women. But hey, if you like it, I love it. I mean, it's more high risk. Per man is higher risk. That's what man has taught us. That's not. They don't have the final say. They didn't make us. They didn't create us. But they put a time limit on when we can create ourselves. No, that's not dictated by man. If I could be 80 years old and the man above say, hey, I need you to have a baby. Guess what? He gonna put that baby gonna come. So if you're meant,
8-year-old having a baby, but I'm not saying anything possible.
If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. If it's not meant to happen, it won't happen. And if you're with somebody that is not meant to happen with, it still ain't gonna happen. So that's all. See, if you're going by clock, if you're going by the internal clock, then we make a lot of that. We take a lot of that time ourselves, choosing the wrong partners.
Yes, wasting time.
So I want to have kids. So let me just go get with this man. No, sometimes that's not the best thing.
Well, you know what? I don't really call it wasting time. I think it's just spending time.
Clock. Yeah, we do. Because we could be with that person and never get a child. That's because we've stuck there when we knew we should not have been there. And it wasn't meant for us to conceive together. Yes. And we only stayed because we chose to stay. That was our desire. So therefore, we chose that. So we gave up that time.
I understand that part. Yeah, sometimes we are with people for a long time frame, and the things that we thought we were going to get out of it does not, transpire. But I wouldn't necessarily call it a waste of time. I would call it, maybe more like a life lesson.
Well, we can fancy it up. But you were talking about the time, so I'm transparent. Okay. I am. Whatever comes out is where you're gonna get. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or glaze it over with no powdered sugar. I'm just gonna say it. You wasted your own time. We can agree to disagree. It was our choice to be there.
It definitely was. It definitely was our choice to be there.
And I understand when you say you wouldn't say waste time. Okay, we got to be a little sensitive. So I agree. Okay. But it is what it is.
Okay. Well, I think we're gonna kind of wrap up our show right now. That was some really good conversation. I mean, unless you have another question or something else that you want to talk about.
I don't have any questions. You was asking me the questions.
I know, but I'm saying,
it was like you were interviewing me. So
I know. I kind of feel like that's what it was too. But
it was an interview.
Hey, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We just laying it all out there. I'm gonna give you.
It's okay. But that's a topic within itself that's never ending. Because you'll have so many different perspectives on it, and people will agree and disagree. But the truth about it is, it comes from within. It's all from within. It doesn't start on the outside. It starts from us. After we've been through so much, it becomes an internal thing.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
It does.
Because we can stay with somebody for 40 years, like I said, and still be alone.
Yeah, there are a lot of songs out there explaining the same thing that you're talking about right now. Like we in the same house, but it feels like we are 100 miles away, 1,000 miles away from one another. So That is true. There's some type of disconnect that takes place
Yes,
at that point,
absolutely.
or has taken place at that point. But my goal here is to, we're gonna get some men on our show, because we want to get, both sides. We just don't want this to be a one-sided type of thing.
Of course.
We'll try to like even the playing field a little bit.
Absolutely. A little debate
and make it
going
more
on.
transparent.
Yeah, a little debate. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be really nice. So, that is the goal. But yeah, we're gonna wrap the show up now. Just wanna thank everyone for tuning in with us tonight. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, TikTok, because we about to flood all the media outlets, all the social media sites. And we definitely want you guys to comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Because we ain't going nowhere.
Right, absolutely.
This is just the beginning for us. And yeah, we just gonna do what we do.
Absolutely.